The term creepypasta refers to short internet horror stories circulating online. Creepypastas are essentially, as previously mentioned, horror stories that tell disturbing, horrifying, and strange tales, often written in a first-person perspective or personal narrative in an effort to create authenticity. Creepypastas usually invoke common narrative elements seen in a typical story. Not every creepypasta is a retelling of the exact same event or uses the same narrative elements. The fascination lies in the fact that they are usually different and not always the same. They may contain similar elements, but they're not exactly the same story. Well, the good ones aren't. Back to what I was previously saying. Creepypastas tend to use narrative elements in an effort to tell a story. Personal testimony, occult motifs, in everyday settings, home, the park, the library, school, your mama's bedroom, and so on. There's also an air of plausibility that allows the audience to become engaged and build tension. Creepypastas are usually a mimic of urban legends. By mimic, I mean they're an attempt at creating an urban legend that lives on the internet. What are urban legends? An urban legend is a humorous or horrific story or piece of information circulated as though it were true, usually as one perpetrating to involve someone vaguely related to or known by the teller. These stories are mostly based on hearsay, in an attempt to be widely circulated as true. For example, the urban legend of alligators living in the sewers isn't exactly true. Well, for the most part, alligators have occasionally been found in sewer systems before, like in Florida, but they aren't mutant like the urban legends claim. Really, this was simply an urban legend originating in the 1930s New York City. Now, creepypastas originated in the early to mid-2000s through various online forums, message boards, and fan sites for video games and other forms of media. The origins of creepypastas can be found on 4chan and Something Awful.
Oh, who is this 4chan?
Well, 4chan is an anonymous English language messaging and image board launched in 2003. 4chan has various subcultures for different types of discussions, similar to Reddit. Users can browse through different subcategories such as anime, My Little Pony, politics, gaming, and its popular unmoderated Anything Goes board. What's relevant for this story is its paranormal board, X. The reason I'm defining what this website is because it's an integral part to the story, as The Rake, one of the most notorious creepypastas of all time, originated on the paranormal message board of 4chan. What is Something Awful? Something Awful is a forum hosting blog entries, forums, articles, and pictures. It was created in 1999 and has existed since then. Its popularity has died down over the years, as forums aren't really used as much. Something Awful is actually very important to the story because Slenderman originated on this message board. Slenderman is regarded as one of the most popular creepypastas of all time and has since then been turned into an iconic game and a commercially successful but very poorly rated movie. Now, creepypastas, as previously mentioned, use narrative elements. One of these narrative elements is popular culture, specifically video games and television. Now that I've told you what a creepypasta is and what creepypastas are, where they originated from, and how these stories are told, let me introduce you to Minecraft creepypastas. Video game creepypastas aren't unusual. Some of the most popular creepypastas are actually based on popular culture. For example, Squidward and Ben Drowned. Squidward is based on SpongeBob and discusses a lost media episode where Squidward. It's corny, but also very entertaining because it's completely absurd. Ben Drowned is a creepypasta based on The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Both of these creepypastas originated online on message boards. Ben Drowned originated on 4chan, and Squidward originated on 7chan. 7chan is an alternate version of 4chan created by founders Zymbian and Zenizlev. Now, similar to The Legend of Zelda, Minecraft also has its creepypastas, as I previously mentioned, because we are talking about Minecraft creepypastas today. We're going to be discussing them and going into minimal depth about them. This list isn't in any sort of order by popularity. This is just a general list that I'm going to be going through. My sources will be listed in the end of the video. Now, starting off with one of my most personal favorites, and one of the most known, is Herobrine. Herobrine starts off with the author spawning into a single-player Minecraft world, version alpha v1.0.16_02. After spawning in, everything to the player was relatively normal at first, playing the game as you normally would, chopping down trees and creating a crafting table. The user plays with a tiny render distance because they don't have the most powerful computer enough to handle a high render distance at the time. They thought they noticed something in the fog and perceived it as possibly being a cow, so they went straight for it until they realized that it was another player, looking just like him. Like Steve, but soulless, empty eyes, and no username pop-up. The author checked to ensure they were in single-player mode. They were. They then went to pursue the mysterious player, but he disappeared right into the fog. The author continued to play the game as normal, Once they started to advance further in the world, they found things that seemed out of place: 2x2 tunnels in the rocks, pyramids made of sand in the ocean, and trees with their leaves cut off in large amounts. They then saved the map and went to the forums to see if anybody else had found the mysterious person in their game, but to no avail. After posting their retelling of the event, their post was mysteriously deleted. They posted again, deleted. They then received a mysterious DM from an account called Herobrine that said, "Stop." They went to Herobrine's profile, only to find that the page returned error 404. Another user emailed him and discussed how the moderators can read forum users' messages, so they would be safer through the continuous email correspondence. The emailer claimed they had seen the mysterious player as well. Their worlds had the exact same problems: ocean pyramids, trees with no leaves, and 2x2 tunnels, and again, a similar encounter with the mysterious player who had no pupils, just white eyes. After a few other email correspondences with the individual, the discussion between them stopped for about a month, until he received another message stating that he looked into the mysterious man's name, Herobrine, and found it to be the brother of Notch. The author then emailed Notch, the game's developer. After a while, he received an email from Notch that stated, "I did have a brother, but he is no longer with us." And the legend, as previously mentioned, began on 4chan in 2010, and it's honestly one of the most popular creepypastas of all time, and one of the most popular video game creepypastas as well. It even is referenced by Mojang themselves, with removed Herobrine appearing in the patch notes as a homage to the story. And another creative thing is this message thread is actually lost media. Entity 303 is a story about a former Mojang employee who was fired by Notch, the creator of Minecraft, and wanted revenge. The way this former Mojang employee enacts revenge is through the game itself. Entity 303 goes by the usernames 303mojang.com and Entity 303. Entity 303 hacks into users and destroys their worlds, and even corrupts their computers. It's said that if you have anything on your computer that contains 303 in it, it could possibly be Entity 303. Now, this story originated through email chains and YouTube videos in 2013. It's supposedly the new Herobrine, and honestly, it's horrifically cringe and a disaster to read through. I don't know where to start with this, and honestly don't want to go into any more depth on it. I mean, it's entertaining, but it's moronic. Okay, so this next one, I'm going to just slam right through it because it was horrific. That Thing is a story which, funnily enough, has a unique seed attached to it. The seed is 2323, and a specific version of Minecraft, 1.8. I'm pretty sure Java is used to encounter the entity. That thing is supposedly an intelligence or AI that exists in a hidden Minecraft dimension called the Freak World. A secret seed is used to join this dimension, seed 2323. Sometimes the Freak World can leak into the normal world, which leads to encounters with that thing. That thing is relatively harmless and doesn't pose a threat to the player, as long as the player doesn't aggravate or harm it. This is bad. I thought Entity 303 was cringe. This is worse. Freak World sounds like a Diddy-style theme park, and I can't anymore with this one. I'll just slap a picture. That's it. That's all you get. I don't like this.